I think what I love most about it is that it changes like all the time. So we could be doing something very serious and very socially impactful for one thing, and then the next month we're doing something super silly and like kind of nonsensical, but it's dynamic. I'm Sunshine de Castro, and I'm a theater arts design tech emphasis. I'm originally from the Philippines, and then I immigrated to Albany, New York, and then I came to California and I went to Clovis High. So I'm in the College of Arts and Humanities honors program, which I believe is an achievement. And then I'm also in the SMIT Camp Family Honors College. And outside of Fresno State, I was awarded the Activist Artist Award by Panay's Rising in 2020, which is an award for people who are Filipino, specifically like Filipino women who do artistic ventures as careers, so theater, writing, poetry, things like that, and also are trying to change whatever landscape in whatever way they can, socially, and recognizing Asian American history. So right now I'm the board chair for the Experimental Theater Company, which is a student-led theater company where the directors, actors, designers, production staff are all students, so that's been a cool experience. I work at the Mercedes Edwards Theater for Clovis Unified as a production assistant. Right now we're doing theater for young audiences here at Fresno State, which I happen to be performing as the lion, which is just a quirky, cute little show, and it's fun to perform for kids. And I'm also acting as the company manager for that. The thing that I'm proud of accomplishing the most is making it through COVID, especially the theater industry as a whole. We had no idea what was going to happen. I think we're even feeling it in the culture of the department right now. You know, a lot of the people who are seniors and graduating this year, we experienced what Fresno State Theater was like at its peak, with we have the green room, which is where all of the theater majors hang out, and you can just start pitching ideas off of people, and you can be like, hey, do this show, do that show. It's really communal, and I think post Zoom college experience, there's been a little bit of apprehension, I guess, in hanging out in those types of spaces, and a little bit of social anxiety, and I think that's also can be seen in the industry as a whole, still being careful about gathering in these mass amounts and things like that. You know, we're finally getting back together as a community, and it's really cool to see that shift from a very silent hallway to one that is almost too loud most of the time. We did Rent, the musical, I believe last spring, and that did not go as planned in many ways. Many people were getting sick. We were coming across a lot of technical difficulties. We had to postpone the show's opening by a day. So it should have been a worse experience than it was. It was actually really fun because the cast was so big. It was all of our friends were in it, and a few community members who had already graduated, and I think that was a really formative experience, to have everybody all in one spot making theater and a show that is so important, talking about the history of theater, being an artist, being a starving artist, also the AIDS crisis in the 1980s and 90s. So it was a really important show, and I was so glad to be doing it with people that I loved. And now it should have been worse, but it wasn't. So I'm really thankful for that. First, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me to do such a weird major. That's so strange. Most people in my family don't do arts type stuff. They're a little bit more practical than I am, so I'd like to thank them for supporting me anyway. I'd like to thank the entire theater department's staff and faculty, more specifically Liz Crifasi and Regina Harris and J. Daniel Herring. I'd also like to thank Joel Abels for pushing me in my career and offering me so many opportunities, countless opportunities during high school, outside of high school, even now. And I'd also like to thank all of my friends in the theater department who just make it so much easier to be under so much stress all the time.